There are things in this world that science cannot explain. Not because we haven't looked, but because when we look, the answers stare back. Signals from the deep ocean that shouldn't exist. Places on Earth that break the rules of nature. Sounds no living creature could make. Events that vanished into thin air. Some of these mysteries are decades old. Some are thousands of years old. And some... In 1977, a radio telescope in Ohio picked up a signal from deep space. It lasted 72 seconds. It was 30 times stronger than normal background noise, and it came from a direction where there was nothing. No planet, no star, no known source. The astronomer on duty circled the printout and wrote one word next to it. Wow. Since that night in 1977, the signal has never repeated, not once. Despite decades of scanning that exact spot. Whatever sent it once, and went silent forever. The Taos Hum. In the small town of Taos, New Mexico, some residents began hearing a sound, a low, steady humming, coming from nowhere. It doesn't stop. Instruments cannot detect it. Not everyone can hear it, but those who can, say it slowly drives them insane. Similar hums have been reported in cities across the world. Bristol, Kokomo. Windsor. No source has ever been found. No cause has ever been proven. And the people who hear it never stop hearing it. The Bloop. In 1997, deep in the Pacific Ocean, underwater microphones recorded a sound. It was louder than any known animal on Earth. Louder than a blue whale. Louder than any submarine. It came from the middle of nowhere. Thousands of miles from land. Scientists proposed theories, ice cracking, underwater volcanoes. But none of them fully explain a sound that powerful. And whatever made that noise was never recorded again. Some believe it is still down there. Waiting. In the dark. The Dyatlov Pass incident. In 1959, 9 experienced Russian hikers set up camp in the Ural Mountains. They never came home. Search teams found their tent, ripped open from the inside. The bodies were scattered across the snow. Some were barefoot, in temperatures that would kill in minutes. One had severe internal injuries with no external wounds. One was missing her tongue. One was missing her eyes. Their clothing contained levels of radiation that should not have been there. To this day, no official explanation has ever been fully accepted. Whatever happened that night on that mountain, they saw it before they died. The Voynich Manuscript, 600 years old. Written in a language nobody has ever been able to read. The Voynich Manuscript contains bizarre illustrations, plants that do not exist on Earth. Naked figures floating in green liquid. Astronomical charts of stars we cannot identify. The world's best cryptographers have tried to crack it. Code breakers from World War II. Modern AI systems. All of them failed. Nobody knows who wrote it. Nobody knows what it says. And nobody knows why it was created. The Overtoun Bridge. In Scotland, there is a bridge. And for decades dogs have been jumping off it. Hundreds of dogs. From the exact same spot. To their deaths. The dogs that survive come back and try to jump again. Some scientists blame the smell of animals below. Some blame the height. But none of these theories explain why it only happens at that one specific point on the bridge. Locals have another explanation. They believe the dogs are sensing something that humans cannot. The Tunguska Explosion. In 1908, something exploded over Siberia. The blast flattened 80 million trees. It was 1,000 times more powerful than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. People 500 miles away felt the shockwave. Scientists searched for a crater. There was none. They searched for meteor fragments. They found none. They searched for meteor fragments. They found none. Some believe it was a comet. Some believe it was an asteroid that exploded mid-air. Some believe it was something else entirely. Whatever hit that morning in 1908 left no trace of itself behind. The zone of silence. In the Mexican desert, there is a place where things go wrong. Radio signals disappear. Compasses spin uncontrollably. GPS devices stop working. Meteorites fall there more often than anywhere else on Earth. Plants grow into strange mutated shapes, and locals speak of glowing lights that appear at night. Scientists have studied this zone for decades. They still don't fully understand why the laws of nature seem to bend inside it. Whatever is happening there has been happening for a very long time. The Black Knight satellite. In orbit around Earth, there is something that shouldn't be there. Since the 1960s, radio operators have picked up signals from a mysterious object. It appeared long before any nation had the ability to launch satellites. Astronauts have reportedly seen it. NASA has released blurry photos, and the signals it sends have never been fully decoded. Some scientists say it's just space debris. Others believe it is something far older. Watching us from above. Ball lightning. For centuries, people have reported seeing glowing balls of light during thunderstorms. They float through walls. They enter homes through closed windows. They hover silently in the air, and they disappear without a trace. Ball lightning has been described by pilots, sailors, and ordinary people around the world. Scientists have tried to recreate it in laboratories. They cannot. They still don't know exactly what causes it, they don't know how it forms, and they don't know why it seems to behave almost intelligently. The Mary Celeste. In 1872, a ship was found drifting in the Atlantic Ocean, fully stocked, sails intact, no signs of struggle, but every single crew member had vanished. 10 people, gone without a trace. The lifeboat was missing. But there were no distress signals, no storm damage, no pirates. They simply disappeared. To this day, what happened aboard the Mary Celeste remains one of the greatest maritime mysteries in history. The fast radio bursts, somewhere in deep space, something is sending signals. They last only milliseconds, but they release more energy than the sun produces in days. Astronomers first detected them in 2007. Since then, thousands have been recorded. Some come from other galaxies. Some pulse in patterns that look almost deliberate. Nobody knows what is producing them. Nobody knows why they exist. And nobody knows if we should ever try to answer them. The Bermuda Triangle between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico lies a stretch of ocean where ships and planes have vanished for centuries. Flight 19. 5 military planes that disappeared in perfect weather, the USS Cyclops. A massive Navy ship that vanished with over 300 men. Countless smaller boats that simply went silent. Some scientists say it's methane gas. Some blame magnetic anomalies. Some say the whole thing is myth. But the reports keep coming, the disappearances keep happening, and the ocean keeps its secrets. The placebo effect. Science has proven something disturbing. Sometimes fake medicine works. Sugar pills have healed cancer patients. Fake surgeries have relieved chronic pain. People given inactive treatments have shown real, measurable improvement. The mind can trigger the body to heal itself, even when nothing physical has changed. Scientists cannot fully explain how it works. They cannot control it. They cannot predict when it will happen. The human mind is doing something we still don't understand. The dark matter enigma. Look up at the night sky. Everything you see, every star, every planet, every galaxy, makes up only 5% of the universe. The other 95% is invisible. Scientists call it dark matter and dark energy. They know it exists because they can measure its gravitational effects, but they cannot see it. They cannot touch it. They cannot detect it directly. Almost everything in the universe is made of something we do not understand. The Antikythera mechanism. In 1901, divers discovered a device in a shipwreck near Greece. It was 2,000 years old. It had gears, dials, and mechanical precision unlike anything from that era. It could predict eclipses. It tracked the movement of planets. It calculated astronomical events decades in advance. Nothing else this complex would exist for another 1,000 years. Who built it? How did they have this knowledge? And what other technology from the ancient world has been lost forever? The missing 4 monos. Across national parks in the United States, people are disappearing. Hikers, children, experienced outdoorsmen. They vanish without a trace, often in areas that have been thoroughly searched. Some are found miles away from where they went missing, in terrain they could not have crossed alone. Some are found with their clothes folded neatly beside them. Some are never found at all. There are patterns. There are similarities. There are cases that defy every known explanation. Whatever is happening in those forests is still happening today. The origin of consciousness. Science can explain how your brain works. Neurons firing, chemicals reacting, electrical impulses moving through tissue. But science cannot explain why any of this creates a feeling. Why do you experience the color red? Why do you feel love? Why does anything feel like anything at all? This is called the hard problem of consciousness, and no scientist on Earth has ever solved it. The most mysterious thing in the universe might be the fact that you are aware of it. The Skinwalker Ranch. In Utah, there is a piece of land, 1,500 acres of ranch surrounded by cliffs. For decades, the people who lived there reported impossible things. Animals were mutilated with surgical precision. Cattle disappeared into thin air. Lights hovered silently in the sky. Objects moved on their own. Time seemed to slow down inside certain areas. The Fermi Paradox. Here is a question that will keep you awake tonight. The universe is over 13 billion years old. It contains at least 200 billion galaxies. Each galaxy contains hundreds of billions of stars. Each star can have multiple planets. Mathematically, there should be alien civilizations everywhere. But we hear nothing. We see nothing. No signals, no ships, no signs of any other intelligent life. The silence should not exist. And yet it does. Scientists have proposed dark answers to this question. Maybe every civilization destroys itself before it can be heard. Maybe something is deliberately staying silent because being detected is dangerous. Maybe something is out there, and the reason we haven't heard from anyone else is because it already got to them. The most disturbing possibility is not that we are alone. It is that we are not alone, and whatever else is out there is hiding for a reason. 20 mysteries. None of them solved. Signals we cannot trace. Sounds we cannot explain. Places we cannot understand. Events that should not have happened. Every year science pushes forward. Every year new tools reveal new answers. But for every answer we find, new questions rise from the darkness. The truth is simple. We do not understand our world as well as we think we do. There are things watching from the deep ocean, things drifting in space, things buried in ancient texts, things happening on quiet mountains, and somewhere out there, the answers are waiting. The only question is, do we really want to find them? If this video kept you watching until the end, share it with someone brave enough to see it. Follow for more dark truths, unsolved mysteries, and the stories they do not want you to hear. Because the world is stranger than you were ever told.